I don't know what to do with Brexit. It seems like, all options are still on the table.
I think it's fair to say that the default, the most likely outcome is that the UK leaves on March 29th. That's not to say that the other outcomes are not still possible. How the UK leaves and on what terms is still very much what Parliament will be debating over as soon as it comes back from the recess. But the default legal position obviously will take more than Parliament to overturn. It would need an administration to come in, a new administration or a change of mind within the current administration to reverse what is now a countdown to the UK leaving the European Union. I think obviously the risk, is, especially from an opposition perspective in Parliament, is the risk that the government does run things down as close to the wire as possible, and obviously that would put extreme pressure on lawmakers who'd be, perhaps unwilling to follow a course of action that would create a kind of no-deal Brexit chaos. A lot of lawmakers on both sides of the Brexit debate have problems with that.
But we are going to push this to the wire because I think everybody believes the other side is going to blink if we get close to the wire. So we're doomed to push this until far later than is comfortable for any of us. But even and even more fundamentally than that, at this point in time, you wouldn't want this vote to happen too soon because there's a lot of work to get done for it to have any chance of coming anywhere near passing at this point. I mean, it's massively in arrears of passing through Parliament.
The party politics aside, the rubbishness of Theresa May aside, the point is Singapore, Japan, the United States, China, Australia, Canada, all of these nations have free trading relationships with the European Union. But the European Union is determined to cut the United Kingdom out of such a deal. Why? Because if a member state leaves the European Union and wants to maintain a good working relationship with it, that undermines the entire project of the European Union, the Eurozone, the common market, the single market, the court systems, everything, the EU army, as they're now doing. So that's what's at stake here, and it doesn't appear that the British public, or indeed the Prime Minister or the Conservative Party, have quite got to grips with that yet. Everything we do as a nation is always sort of softly catchy monkey. We'll be very polite and very forthright and very earnest about the things we do. At some point, however, especially up in the north of England, the Labour heartlands, Wales and the east of England, where real working class communities are getting frustrated about this, I predict a very significant backlash to this in 2019, and it starts with Theresa May not being able to get her deal through on January the 14th. We're going to probably have a second referendum on whether or not we leave the European Union. And that both undermines democracy, it undermines the original referendum vote, it undermines trust in our politics. But I think what it will do is galvanise the British public against Brussels and say, we've told you once, we'll tell you again, and that will be the end of it.
The analysis clearly shows that leaving the European Union under any scenario that we're modelling has a cost. An economic cost. In the case of the White Paper proposal, that cost is very small at 15 years out, but it is still a cost, so the point is rightly made. My own judgment is that we need a way forward which heals our country. We have a deeply fractured country with opinion heavily polarised and trust in the political system correspondingly damaged. And I would suggest to the committee that divided countries are not successful countries. And I've thought long and hard about this because you know where I started from in this debate 2.5 years ago. I have come to the conclusion that the future success of our country depends on us executing the instruction of the British people in the referendum, leaving the European Union, but doing so in a way that minimises the impact on our economy and maximises the opportunity that we have in the future, so that we can come together as a nation and work together to exploit those opportunities in the future. Any solution which left the country divided, left a large segment of the population feeling betrayed, in my view, would have a negative political impact, on the political and societal impact that would far outweigh the very small economic impact that the White Paper scenario is showing here.
Folks, I think she'll lose by 100 or so. She'll go back to Brussels, there'll be a minor concession, she'll still lose, there'll be a crisis, and Parliament will agree to delay the date we leave the European Union by another year. I hope I'm really, really badly wrong, but I feel a second referendum is getting closer.
A no deal is becoming more likely by the day. Right now, it looks like Theresa May is going to put this to a vote sometime during the week of the 14th of January. And basically, if this doesn't pass, there is not enough time to have an alternative deal before the 29th of March. So actually, Jeremy Corbyn has been saying he thinks that she's trying to have the vote at the time that she does to push people who otherwise wouldn't support the vote, to kind of push them to support it to avoid a no deal. And I think at this point, she doesn't have the vote she needs. She will only get it if people are, again, forced to vote for it to avoid the no deal. Right now, people are still unhappy about the backstop. They don't want Britain having to be subject to the European Union having to sign off on them leaving the customs union. So right now, a no deal is definitely a possibility, and it's going to be, are people going to feel pressured enough to vote for a plan that they really don't like? That's the question.